Hello friends, and welcome to another episode of Take 2 for Soundstage Solo. I'm Mike on audio, and today I'll be taking a pair of headphones that a Soundstage reviewer has already reviewed and provide my second opinion on how they performed when I took them for a spin. Now, if you want to check out the original and more in-depth review by Geoffrey Morrison, which he did on July 1st of this year, 2023, head on down to the description below where you'll find a link to SoundstageSolo.com. Let's dive right in to the Sennheiser 660S2. You might already know that Sennheiser's HD600 series is often hailed as one of the best headphones for its price range. So when the folks at Soundstage brought up the 660S2 model, I was all over it, and I couldn't wait to experience them for myself. Now, let's talk about the unboxing experience. The packaging is pretty much what you'd expect for headphones in this $500 price bracket. Sadly, they've skipped the hard shell case, which would have been a nice touch. But moving forward, you'll find that the box contains two sets of generic cables. One ends in a 1/4-inch unbalanced connector, and the other has a 4.4mm balanced connector. If your source uses the more compact 3.5mm headphone jack, don't you worry, as there's an adapter provided right in the box for you. They've also included a storage pouch, which is handy for traveling or just keeping your headphones dust-free at home. It's nice when manufacturers pretty up their cabling. This one's kind of not pretty, but I feel that, Sennheiser is very matter-of-fact with their offerings at this price point. Moving on to the feel of the 660S2, the clamping force. It's more significant than you might anticipate. If you're, into long listening sessions like I am, this could be a bit of a downside, as you definitely notice that they're there. The ear pads have a velour-like finish, which admittedly isn't my favorite, coupled with the clamping force makes this for a bit of a heat trap during longer usage. If comfort is a big deal to you, an ear pad upgrade might be something to consider. Despite all this, I'm optimistic that the clamping force should kind of chill out over time. Plus, they've got the advantage of being super lightweight, so they don't feel like a big load on your head, just slightly uncomfortable. Now, here's a minor issue that gave me a bit of a runaround. The left and right labels, they're inconspicuously placed on the headband in tiny text and almost hidden behind the ear pad. It makes matching the right cable with the right headphone side more challenging than it needs to be. It's these little things, however inconsequential as they might seem to the makers, they can really make a huge difference to us, the end users. Let's discuss aesthetics, particularly those open back ear cups, which I actually personally found to be absolutely striking. I've always been a fan of, using the copper in branding. There's something about it that adds a dash of luxury to the overall look and feel. But hey, that could just be me. It does remind me, though, of Sony's smart move when they opted for a similar color scheme on some of their offerings. But the build of the 660S2s, while lightweight, does feel a bit on the plasticky side. I don't see this as a drawback, though. But considering they're not marketed as high-end luxury headphones, which, those typically come standard with a full metal aluminum chassis, but, don't let that deter you. They still feel solid and well put together. However, how pretty these headphones may or may not be is irrelevant if they don't sound great. Let's dive into the sound quality. I teamed the 660S2s with my trusty Cambridge DAC Magic 200M headphone amp and DAC, streaming directly from my PC with Qobuz as my go-to source. Initially, the sound profile didn't exactly blow me away. I found it rather balanced, but also, uneventful. In fact, if I had to encapsulate the sound signature in one word, it'd probably be safe. There weren't any particular qualities that immediately stood out. As for the soundstage, it's decent, but not something I'd call immersive or dynamic. When it comes to the bass, it's actually quite pleasing. Not overly punchy, but certainly noticeable. The mids are smooth and laid back, delivering just enough warmth to give, the vocals a nice feel. The treble, on the other hand, I'd say that's quite reserved, which might come at the cost of some detail. Sure, you could potentially fine-tune some of these aspects with, a touch of EQ, but my philosophy has always been that headphones should make a great first impression without any additional tweaking. That's the benchmark I stick to in all my reviews. At the $500 price point, these headphones sit a little higher on the scale than one might expect. In terms of the overall listening experience, I feel that my Hi-Fi Man HE5 SEs tend to outperform, despite the Sennheisers holding an edge in the bass response. Given their lack of distinct advantages, I would probably pass on these headphones for me. The world of high-fidelity audio is vast, guys, and it's worth exploring other options that may actually offer better value for your investment. If you're looking to delve even deeper into these headphones, I highly recommend Jeff's review, which is a little different than mine. You can find the link in the description below. As always, this is Mike from Mike on Audio, signing off. I'm looking forward to connecting with you all soon. Until then, take care.